This is the URT. You are the URT. Big up the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. Big up to everybody. I've got an argument to make in this video. I do not rate the German league, the Bundesliga. I think that some players in recent years have struggled to make it, to make it into the Premier League. And I'm absolutely sick to death as a United fan of being linked to so many players from the Bundesliga. The latest one was that Nathaniel, I forgot his name, but Nathaniel, he's a left wing back for Frankfurt. Is it Frankfurt? I think it might be Frankfurt player. I looked at him, looked at a couple of videos, and no way, no in the hell way. He's a young player. But Manchester United are linked to all these weaklings, players who lack physicality and who lack strength. Of course, you could say that every league has their physical monsters, people who play with loads of intensity and play with a lot of physicality. But I'm just sick of Manchester United being linked with these players. Similar with Angelo Stilikai. I don't rate him at all. That league is just pure transitional. You've got people who can pass the ball, and then you've got attackers who just run. There is no actual defending. I don't really see any great defending, even though historically Germany has been league that the Bundesliga historically has always been a very defensive. You look back 30 years, 20 years, like 30 years ago, German football was Route 1, ultra defensive football. And obviously loads have changed in those 30 years. There's a lot that has changed about the football in Bundesliga. For me, the players who I think transfer well are the players who play in the French league. Now, a lot of you will say, well, the French league is not as competitive. I can also say that, yes, you might be right. The quality or competitiveness, because so many French players play in La Liga, in the Bundesliga, and in the English Premier League, or even in Italy as well. I think a lot of the French young players leave a lot earlier. And I can't say the same about German players. I really can't say the same. Yes, and obviously, you could say that each league produces decades, like the 2000s. The French league produced some amazing players. I can go through some players like who are being produced. Like, we're talking about legends of the Premier League. So the French league, for me, if you look at player for player, I look at players like Thierry Henry. I look at legend. Properly, some people say it's the best Premier League. Before that, I go to Cantona, for me, which was the best French player I've ever seen. I've watched live, me personally. Then you had Didier Drogba. You've had Eden Hazard. You have Antonio Conte. You've had Riyad Mahrez. You had Nicolas Anelka. You had Patrick Vieira, Robert Perez, William Saliba now, Dimitri Payet. You had, like, even people like Laurent Koscielny, like as a defender, was quite solid. Yeah, obviously Arsenal weren't that great. And then I say in recent years, like Pepe, I think Pepe did all right at Arsenal, but then he wasn't played, and the football that he was used to not played. People like Anthony Martial, I thought Anthony Martial had a superb, before he got the injuries, I thought he had a really good Manchester United career before he got injuries when he's playing on the left-hand side. I thought he was superb. He was the best left-handed forward that we've had when he was fit and playing well. So, yeah, I look at players like that, and people can come back at me and go, okay, Kevin De Bruyne, but Kevin De Bruyne was bought by Chelsea, and Kevin De Bruyne actually did well, but just that Jose doesn't like playing young players. So when people tell me, oh, but you got him from Wolfsburg, no, he was already at Chelsea. Before, Kevin De Bruyne was already a talent before he went to Wolfsburg. So stop the fucking cap. Stop the cap. A player that you can throw at me, Erling Haaland was a freak of nature before he went to Dortmund. He was breaking records when he was in Austria. He was incredible in Austria. So he's just a one phenomenal kind of player. He's a freak of nature. But a player that you can throw at me and say, look, what about Ilkay Gundogan? Yes. He transferred and he actually performed so much better. But is it the system of Pep Guardiola? Is it Pep Guardiola's coaching? And is it the system that took him to that level? Is it that system that took him to the level? But maybe I could say the same about all those other players. But then when I look at Mahrez and when I look at Kante, they weren't at incredible big clubs. They were at Leicester and they won league and a FA Cup at Leicester. Let's be right, people. They won a league and an FA Cup years later. Some of them, I think, was Mahrez still there? They won things. They won things. They won a Premier League title. So other people could say Kai Havertz. Has Kai Havertz done well? Not really. Chelsea thought he was a flop. Some Arsenal fans think he's flopped. Leroy Sané, would you say he did all right for a couple of years? The other big one is Roberto Firmino, who played a false nine for Klopp. Yeah, he was great. He was great. Pascal Gross, yeah, 7 years of not at a big club, performed fantastically well at Brighton. So we can get into the argument, and some people can challenge me and say, teams that have a distinct way of playing, players come from the German league, can fit into that system. You could say that to me. Manchester United do not have a distinct way of playing. That's why I'm saying to Manchester United and Manchester United fans, this is what this video is for, stay the fuck away from the Bundesliga because we don't have defined system. Look at the players who do well here. Look at the players who, Gundogan, Leroy Sané, Bobby Firmino. Gavidol, could you say Gavidol has done all right? Has done all right? Pascal Gross, you could count that, but I've counted many more from the French league. Many more from the French league. And then we can compare that to also to La Liga. David Silva, one of the best Premier League players of all time, I personally think. Rodri, the best DM. One of the best DMs. The only DM to win the Ballon d'Or. I just don't understand why Kante never got that. Why Kante never got a Ballon d'Or. Because I think Kante was the best DM I've ever seen in my life. Best all-around midfielder, tracking people down, winning a ball back, covering the ground. Laporta from La Liga did well. Diego Costa did well. Cesc Fabregas did incredibly well. Juan Mata at Chelsea did really well. Thiago Alcantara did well when he played. Pedro, he's another guy who's very underrated. Chelsea, he was an amazing player. Di Maria was a massive flop at United. Alvaro Morata was a flop. Alexis Sanchez did amazing. But people can tell me that the Bundesliga has had the highest hit rate in the Premier League by far in the last 10 years. And some people say La Liga had some legends, but also several expensive failures. That's what some people can tell me. And obviously the League One, the golden era was the 2000 and early 2010s. But for me, I just don't think. I think if you're a club in the Premier League with a distinct system of playing, then I 100% believe that the Bundesliga players can be wealthy because you can bring those players, scout them specifically, and fit them into a system. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that. You can fit them into a fucking system. You can do that. So, Manchester United, I'm just sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it because we have no distinct style. We have no player profile, like proper getting players that we need. I'm sat here and I'm explaining to you in the last 13 years, the biggest failure of Manchester United Football Club, even when Fergie was here, is the midfield. The lack of midfielders that are being bought in by Manchester United. So how are we proper, well-balanced football club that can see the areas of the pitch which we need players for? And I'm not trusting the Bundesliga to get win back from the Bundesliga. and midfielder from the Bundesliga. Because we don't have a distinct style of play. We don't have a set system of playing. We don't. At the moment, Amarim's on survival football. That is what's happening, people. That is what is happening. That's what I can see. So at the end of the day, get in the comments. Let me know where I'm right or wrong. If you listen to the experts, they'll tell you the Bundesliga is the in the last 10 years has been a hit. Players like Heung-min Son, Kai Havertz. I don't think Kai Havertz been that great. Son was amazing for Spurs. Don't get it twisted. But I think he's the fact that he's a Korean footballer, so dedicated. I mean, go and read about Son. His dad said to him, you're not going to be married. You're just going to focus. His dad ran him like a military fucking operation. He's like a military. He's planned out his career like a military flipping operation. He had to just get the best out of him. And he's that type, like we have Park and United. Absolute warrior, soldier, military way of doing things. Bobby Firmino was incredible. Gundogan, incredible. Haaland is a freak to me anywhere he's scoring goals. Where he goes to the Liga, where he was in the Liga, whether he was in the French league, whether he was in the Spanish league, he's scoring goals. Gundogan and Bobby Firmino. And what does happen? Bobby Firmino is Brazilian. He's not even German. Gundogan is. So, get in the comments. I need to spark a debate. What league do you think is the club? For me, it's the French. I'm telling you, it's the French. Say whatever you want about me, but I think it's the French. Mahrez, Kante, Thierry Henry, Drogba, Cantona, Patrice Evra. What are we doing here, people? So get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan, free everywhere where people are oppressed. And if you're down for the Glazers and Ratcliffe, then you know where to get the F off. You know where to get off. Peace, love, and light. Catch you in the next one.